My purpose here is to speak directly to the American families, not just you, but to the American families, about the work this administration is doing in education to reverse our national decline with a hard reset of our educational system. That reset was a top campaign promise from President Trump to send education back to the states and end Washington's micromanagement of education once and for all.
The Trump administration announcing how exactly it will dismantle the Department of Education with 6 partnerships with other federal agencies to delegate education programs and minimize what Secretary Linda McMahon calls bureaucratic bloat. For more, let's bring in Vanderbilt University Chancellor Daniel Diermeier. Chancellor, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have any concerns about this shakeup at the Department of Education, the eventual elimination, potentially having an unintended consequence with some of America's students that could ultimately be going on to apply to Vanderbilt and other schools across the country?
Whenever we think about our relationship with the federal government, there are always kind of 2 sides to the story. On the one hand, there's a lot of wonderful things that our partnership with the federal government is doing for the American people. For every dollar in research funding, the American people really receives $5 in social benefits. And then, of course, there's a financial support, financial aid for students to attend universities like Vanderbilt. We'll top that off so that that students can attend Vanderbilt without the need to take on debt or other financial burdens. And then the other side of the story is there's a tremendous regulation of higher education. We did a study recently. Our annual cost of compliance is over $300 million, which is about as much as we spend on financial aid. So there is a need, I think, to simplify that and to look at the unnecessary regulatory burden that universities are dealing with.
Vanderbilt and the University of Texas were 2 universities that were reached out to by the federal government about its compact for academic excellence in higher education. The other schools said no. Vanderbilt and Texas said they were willing to talk. What's the latest on those conversations?
Yeah, so we received an invitation from the federal government to participate in a discussion on a document, a draft, which is now known, as the compact. And our point of view, whenever we receive an invitation and we look at it, and our point of view is that we want to participate in policy making that directly affects Vanderbilt and the future of higher education. We do this at the municipal level, at the state level, at the federal government level. We were very active during the discussions on the endowment tax, for example, and we believe that dialogue is important to make sure that we set the right path for universities going forward. So at this point, we have decided to participate in these discussions, and these are still in their early stages.
Many parents today are concerned about the free exchange of ideas on college campuses, worried about their kids potentially being targeted if they have different viewpoints. What makes Vanderbilt different?
We have a very strong commitment to free expression. Our belief is that our goal is to teach students how to think, not what to think. So that includes a commitment to free expression and free speech on campus, which is very strong. We also believe that universities should not be in the business of taking positions on political issues. Universities should be universities. There should not be political parties. And then it's very important that we have a culture on civil discourse on campus where ideas and arguments can be freely exchanged, where we have respect for each other, where we listen to each other, discuss and debate things with each other, but not demonize or ostracize each other.
And the feedback amongst your student body, and I'm sure the parents, is very positive to that?
Oh, absolutely. This is really part of the student culture now. We call this as part of a program we call Dialogue Vanderbilt. Our students have really bought into this culture. They've become ambassadors for it. The parents love that. That's one of the reasons why our applications have increased dramatically. We now have almost 50,000 applications for 1,700 slots.
Wow.
So there's strong demand for Vanderbilt education, and many parents and students tell us that they come to Vanderbilt because they want to be in an environment that can freely explore ideas.
We're nearly out of time, but Vanderbilt football is 8-2, a member of the mighty Southeastern Conference. I saw a report saying you were out to dinner with Coach Clark Lee the other night. Is that to make sure he doesn't leave?
We love where the football program is. We love what the coach is doing. We love the whole transformation of Vanderbilt athletics. I always look at that and I think, athletics is life simplified, and the virtues that we value in life, we see right in front of us. We love what we're doing. We want to make sure that continues.
Chancellor Diermeier, enjoy the Kentucky game. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be with you this morning.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.